Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for today's CMA Showcase video. It's really exciting for me, actually, because today I'm joined by Yumiko Asakura, and hello, Yumiko, you're from the Leaves Institute, aren't you?
Institute, and I'm originally from Japan, now working in London.
Yes, absolutely. And we are so proud to have you with us as not just a CMA training school member, but you are such an important member for us because you are bringing something to complementary medicine that is really very unique, very beautiful, and something I think that all of us can benefit from. So I know that we not so long ago did a showcase video with you, which was really a lovely way of introducing you to our viewers and our listeners. But today we wanted to drill a little bit deeper into the sum of the work, just a snippet, just a snapshot of the incredible work that you do and the incredible things that you teach. So Yumiko, I mean, warm welcome to you. And I would be very grateful if you could tell perhaps our viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself and the work that you do. And then I know that we've got some special topics that we're going to talk about today as well.
Thank you for your introduction, Jayney. Yes, I used to work in Japan teaching people healing, meditation, and philosophy and all sorts of things. And I used to teach mainly teachers, but now I've created a course for general audience, with which people can learn how to meditate and how to heal themselves and others. And also I teach shamanism and other stuff as well. So I am very much passionate about teaching people how to meditate, because meditate is one of the most important skill for you to learn regarding understanding yourself and healing yourself.
Yes, I absolutely agree. It is so important, isn't it? And the more people meditating and meditating together where possible, it's a potent healing healing modality, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, lovely. So one of the things when we were speaking prior to making this video, we were talking about the different topics that we would like to cover today. And you raised some really interesting ideas, and one of which really caught my eye, and they all caught my eye, but one in particular really intrigued me. And it was where you were saying that you would like to perhaps introduce the concept of nothingness and Japanese consciousness. It's so interesting and very cultural. So I was wondering if you could say a little bit about it and what it is, and also how it fits in with sort of the Western concept of consciousness and what the differences, similarities and differences are.
Yeah. So first I came to this country and studied about mindfulness meditation myself as well. So what I have discovered, learning mindfulness meditation, it's about Japanese psyche and Japanese way of dealing with consciousness. And I found it quite different because for Japanese people, we have a quite vague boundary between different consciousness. Like we have quite a vague boundary about everything in a way. And Western mind is more accurate, and they have boundaries about things and about others. We are more merged with others and things as well in Japan. So the consciousness has a much less boundaries. I mean, it's not about mental illness, but it's more about we tend to rely on our awareness when we judge things or when we try to understand things. And so mindfulness meditation was an interesting approach. And both of meditation, I teach awareness meditation, which in Japanese I call Kizuki Meiso or Kizuki meditation. My meditation is more focused on awareness rather than mindfulness, as it is a really natural Japanese way of doing meditation, even though not every Japanese people meditate. So the nothingness is something both of awareness meditation and mindfulness meditation is going to achieve. So the difference between West and East was really starting point of me developing this awareness meditation to just make Japanese people aware of mindful practice and be aware of the boundary, as well as using this idea of awareness into the meditation to include a vast recognition of the surrounding into the meditation. So nothingness, it's really difficult to understand nothingness if you don't experience nothingness in a way. But as people say, when you are in meditation and when you're experiencing nothingness, there's no thought, no idea, but there is awareness. There is always awareness of who you are without thinking. So the awareness is not thinking, while mindfulness is thinking. So awareness meditation, Kizuki Meso, take you directly to this nothingness, using healing and the structural invitation into this nothingness. So when nothingness achieved, the thing is you don't think anything. You're not thinking, you have no ideas, but you actually experience your life more vividly. That when you achieve nothingness. Some people achieve nothingness in the waterfall. When you're meditating in the waterfall, then suddenly becomes nothing, but the experience of the world become more vivid, even though the person is not thinking. So nothingness is not about you don't experience anything. You don't think about anything and you have no judgment about the world when you are experiencing nothingness. But your experience of this moment become really true and vivid, which prevail a lot of things to you. So also, if I just mention about what will happen about nothingness, it's just a significant healing happens for body, mind, and soul at all levels. So nothingness is one of the things that I want people to experience and learn to go into that space again after the experience. So what I tend to help people is to experience the nothingness with me first and allow them to go back to the state when they want to through meditation. So that's my approach. I hope I explained nothingness a little bit.
Yes, actually, yes, you have incredibly well. Thank you. Obviously, you are the expert, so it's a wonderful chance for us to learn from you about this because it is. You are right. It's very, very different from mindfulness. So I know that people will be thinking, and I am myself. It's very difficult. For example, speaking personally, I think we're all the same in many ways. That when we go into a deep meditation, because of the concept of monkey mind, we will always find that thoughts come in. And what we're supposed to do when we're doing sort of a mindfulness meditation is just be aware of the thought coming in and, oh, well, you don't judge it. Oh, well, let it go, like clouds across the sky. But how does that differ from nothingness? Because to me, when you say nothingness, it's almost as if you're actually going into a meditation and not thinking. Have I understood that correctly, or is it different?
Yeah, you don't think nothing in the nothingness.
Right.
And often you are closing your eyes, so you have no image in your mind. So you just be here, but that brings up a lot of wisdom. I mean, you don't recognize the wisdom when you are in meditation. You only recognize it when you are out of meditation.
Yes.
But what's happening at the nothingness is actually you're accessing to your wisdom. You're accessing to your true essence. You're building a stronger bridge to your wisdom and to your nature or your essence. So through that bridge, even though you're not thinking anything, when you come up to your consciousness, you learn so much. You suddenly realize you know much more than before. You become more wise and you have the answers to your questions which you didn't know before the meditation. So what my student experience and myself as well is when you come out of meditation, when you came back from nothingness to your thinking, you somehow know what to do with your life. You somehow know the answers to your questions, and you can't think of any questions anymore. So that's a nothingness I want people to achieve.
Yes.
The nothingness, it's not just not thinking anything, but you can't think of nothing. You can't think of anything because you are one with this true essence, true nature, your wisdom, where your awareness, your mind is it. So when your mind is the mind which is thinking, you can't think of anything because your mind is not, it's very hard to explain, but when you are one with this true essence, true wisdom in yourself, you don't have to think. The thinking is not necessary anymore. So in a way, when I create something, I'm also artist. I'm not thinking anything when I'm creating because I'm one with this awareness. I don't even know what I'm doing. So that's also possible. So the awareness of nothingness can even achievable when you are working or moving to some extent, even though you can't really remember what you're doing, but you can still achieve. So it's quite interesting state of mind.
Yes, the way that you describe it there really reminds me of the way that Mihai Csikszentmihalyi describes flow. So when we get into a state of flow, and I love the way that he describes this, he says that flow is a situation where we are doing a task, playing a musical instrument or creating some artwork or whatever it is that we're doing. It's just challenging enough. We're doing it of our own volition. So nobody's making us do this thing. We're choosing to do it, but it's just hard enough to keep us really engaged in the task.
Yeah.
And you get into the state of flow, you lose all sense of time, any kind of, that voice in our minds that is, judgmental or what have you, disappears. And so it's a little, I understand, I sort of see a parallel in what you're describing there. It's probably not the same, but to me, it's a parallel. But what I would love to know is, can you describe, Yumiko, how we can actually achieve this state of nothingness? What is the process that you teach people to go through? Because I'm sure that many of our viewers and listeners are thinking, gosh, and I know I am, this sounds incredible. I would love to learn to do this.
Yeah.
So how do you teach this, and what is the process?
I understand achieving nothingness is really difficult. So what I do is I do initiation. I initiate people, like I help people to create that state in them to experience first. And I do some initiation of the skills for them to go back to that state anytime they want. So it starts with the initiation and experiencing the meditative state for the first time. Then they can go back to the state as they want. So it is achieved my initiation. But the other way to learn without initiation for people who come to me, to my course, they will learn to meditate. They can finally achieve the nothingness. And I had so many people who have been trained for 25 years, 20 years, 10 years in meditation, but still couldn't achieve that state, would come to me and they will achieve that nothingness straight away. And that is really powerful because your questions all disappears after the meditation. So if you don't have those initiation and to get into the nothingness naturally, one of the practices, as you have mentioned, flow is another practice. I teach people to do it without initiation. Like you engage with yourself with something like cooking or something, which ideally repetitive, so you don't have to think about it. Then you just allow yourself to relax and just focus into what you're doing, then because you're doing something repetitive, you don't really have to think anything, but you have to focus. So that create this available space in your mind to just play around with your consciousness. So that's really good start to prepare yourself to think nothing and just allow you to have available area in your mind to just explore where we want to be aware of. So that's the one way I teach people to just practice meditation in the daily life. Another way I can recommend is find something beautiful in your life. Like we tend to think, oh, it's beautiful and take photo and move on. But if you stop and just really experience and really appreciate the beauty you just found, and just try to be really experience it in yourself, that beauty, like sunset, sunrise, beautiful flower, as much as you can enjoy, then you can get really close to the mindset where you're willing to experience nothingness. So that's another way of approaching nothingness in meditation. Like allow yourself to enjoy the beauty of the world, because the capability of us seeing the beauty in things in the world directly associated with the ability to meditate, the ability to allow us to feel who we really are, because who we really are is really beautiful. And we think, we feel, we see something beautiful because we resonate with the beauty deep within. And what is resonating in us is the essence. So having moment, having time to enjoy something beautiful, it can be museum, it can be in the nature, it can be in your daily life. It doesn't have to be beautiful to everybody, but something striking you, like something which you really moved by, and use that moment and experience it more to allow you to connect to your essence is one way to help your meditation. And you don't go into meditative state straight away by admiring, but it will certainly help you to allow you to connect to that essence in meditation, and it will help your meditation to go deeper as a result. So that's a kind of common thing you can do.
Oh, superb. Yumiko, it is so exciting. And I love the clarity with which you describe this, because I think one of the problems with meditation is that a lot of the times it's sort of kind of presented in such an esoteric way. And it's actually quite difficult. The problem is that meditation is actually very simple. But it's sort of complicated by so many descriptions and so the way it's done a lot of the time and so on. And the way that you've described this is very, very simple, and I love it. I mean, when you were saying about do a repetitive task that is kind of mindless, like Thich Nhat Hanh spoke about doing the dishes, and it's a great one, isn't it? And because you can clear your mind, you can do the task and you can concentrate on the task, yet you can sort of clear that kind of meta part of the mind, can't you? And I love the way that you talk about experiencing beauty. And actually, the whole thing about experiencing beauty is when you get into the habit of that. I don't know if you would agree with this, but you get into the habit of that. It's like a muscle. The more we exercise it, the more capacity we have, thanks to neuroplasticity and the way that our brains repattern themselves. We actually have even more capacity to experience beauty. Do you feel as I'm on the right track with that?
Would you agree? Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a capability of seeing beauty in things, and it actually helps your life to be more happy and beautiful indeed.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's so fascinating. I was, thinking as you were speaking, I was thinking, gosh, we need to spend much more time with you. So we will definitely bring you back, and maybe even if you have time, we might even be able to do a CMA members tutorial on your work, because it is so fascinating and absolutely, well, it is beautiful. So thank you for sharing with us, and it's a real privilege to be able to spend time with you. Yumiko, can you explain how people can come and train with you, and what your training sort of consists of, so that people have a good idea? And of course, we will put the details in the show notes under the video. But yes, if you can tell us a little bit about how people find you, and what, how long your training is and what it consists of.
Oh, thank you for asking. Yes, I have a specialized training in meditation called Fukumeso, which is available online. And you can train yourself anytime by self-paced. You can train yourself in 1 week or 1 month, and that is available all the time. And it involves the initiation I mentioned. So you can experience the nothingness. You might have to try it several times, but I will initiate in the first time you watch, so you can start doing it. And another thing I teach is I teach meditation in our healing diploma course. It's the first thing you learn as a healer, in training as a healer, and you will train to do the very deep awareness meditation in the first place. You learn about meditation about 2 months when you started to train as a healer in our course. And that would also help you. I also help people in my diploma course to be aware of the learning and the experience through reflection. It is a Japanese reflection. Japanese people tend to learn to reflect a lot, because they are kind of taught to reflect everything before you do anything. So we teach reflection as well. So meditation and reflection in the healing diploma. And I also provide meditation teacher training to help. I'm not just teaching my method. I will be teaching teachers to develop their own meditation program using my skill, because I believe whoever come to my course, I want to develop their uniqueness, not only just teaching my method, but I want to always, with anything I teach, I want to help people to develop their own thing, which is more natural and more about their passion. So that's what I provide at the moment about meditation.
Fantastic. No, that's absolutely wonderful. I think really, because you do so much, and you teach so many different things, but they all interlink. I think the best thing to do is for people to jump over to your website. What is the best website address for people to take?
My homepage, leavesinstitute.com.
Leavesinstitute.com. Yes.
And because we have, maybe our explanation is not clear enough, then you can you're welcome to just write to us that I want to know more about meditation, and we will guide you through.
Yes. Yes, no, absolutely. So I think then, yes, just you're right. I mean, obviously guide people towards leavesinstitute.com. And I know you've got a lot of really fantastic information there, but I love that you're open to people reaching out and contacting you if they have any further questions. I think that's absolutely super. So for anybody who's missed that or needs the spelling, the details are actually in the show notes under this video.
If they allow us to take the detail, like if they register themselves in our newsletters, we can also let them know when we do free meditation, because I tend to do the free meditation group.
Oh, wonderful.
That's one way to experience as well.
Yes. Oh, well, that's fantastic. When do you do the meditation groups, Yumiko?
I used to do it almost every month as a part of free healing event.
Yes.
I always do meditation with them, but I'm hoping to start again maybe from after summer or something.
Oh,
Free meditation evening or something. Because
lovely.
I believe
Yes.
meditation is important.
Yes, it really is, and I think it's really helpful for people to be able to, have a taster in a group, perhaps online or what have you. So that's absolutely fantastic. So Yumiko, thank you. I just want to thank you so much for this time together. You're such an extraordinary lady. I was so proud to have you with us at the CMA, and honestly, just so grateful to you for spending this time with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Jayney. I really enjoyed today as well.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us, Yumiko, and we shall talk to you again soon, no doubt.
Yes.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.